Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on the Way of Wade 8082 V2. So yeah, a lot of numbers is kind of confusing, but this is the second version, that's what it's V2, of one of my favorite shoes, which is the 8082, right? So the 8082 feels very similar to the Kobe's, you know, like Kobe 9 I would actually say, Kobe 911 because of like the little clunky heel, right? And of course it has a drop-in midsole and stuff, but it's a lot cheaper. Kobe's of course were super expensive. I mean, you can't even get them now, but the 808 2v2 is going for $110 freaking dollars. Very cheap price. So if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones, and oh my gosh, yes, it's the same exact traction pattern as the regular 808 and from my experience in the regular 808 from the white outsole, right? Solid white rubber outsole in both of these shoes, both of these colorways, is top tier. Amazing traction, good right out of the box, amazing stop on a clean court, picks up very minimal dust, and if it does pick up dust, it's super easy, it's like wipe. And durability also is very good. You know, the rubber is very hard, super tough, and grooves are thick and also deep. So yeah, it's the same exact pattern and also rubber outsole here in the V2, but in this colorway it's mismatched, which is very cool. Like, I don't know if you guys look at that, it's a mismatched colorway, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of orange and blue, but I do like the mismatched color. So yeah, I mean, it's the same exact rubber outsole, and also it seems like the same exact rubber compound, because trying it on my wood floors, it has a very good stop and also a super loud and high-pitched squeak, which of course has nothing to do with performance, yes, but I like to have a little bit of squeak in my shoes, you know what I mean? So yeah, the traction is feeling really good so far. It's feeling top tier, just like in the 808 I don't know what it is with Way of Wade or Chinese companies in general, but like, they're making super nice like rubber outsoles, like very sticky feeling, you know what I mean? So there's that. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, however, it's a little clunky here in the heel because of, look at that. Look at all of this rubber, and it's like hard rubber, right? So it's a little clunky, especially when you're like doing heel dominant strides, but we do kind of have like a little bit of a rounded shape, so it's not terrible. And then here in the forefoot, I mean, it's the exact same as the regular 808 of course. You know, they're using the same outsole and midsole basically, so nice curved shape and a lot of forefoot flex, right? So yeah, and not the smoothest heel to toe transition, but it's not terrible. And now moving on to the cushioning setup, also it's identical, right? So we have a drop-in midsole and it's cloud foam, right? So cloud foam drop-in, right? And it's identical. We have good step and comfort because your foot is right on top of the foam rather than a strobo board. You know, traditional shoes, they have strobo boards and it is very stiff because they usually glue it down, but Way of Wade has been giving us really good soft mesh strobo board, so it's not even like a huge deal, but it's still like, this is pure unadulterated USDA organic GMO free foam, and your foot's right on top of it. So step and comfort's great, court feel is absolutely amazing. Of course the heel gets a little bit thicker, forefoot's super duper low to the ground. And also of course, as you guys all know, we have the sidewall for lateral containment from the actual drop-in midsole, so that is a nice little like addition to the upper. You know, the upper, of course, they add all of these lateral calendars as well, but with the drop-in, that's an extra layer of support, right? So yeah, the cushion feels identical to the 808 and it's pretty damn nice. It's just not the best for like hard impacts because foam, like I said, this foam is like a little bit on the softer side of things and does bottom out a little bit, but it's not terrible for a hard impact. So yeah, same exact cushioning setup in the 808 And now moving on to the upper, which is of course what they changed up, right? So here in the regular 808 it's more of like a mesh material, right? And then here in the V2 we have like it looks like a textile material, and honestly it feels a little bit better as far as the quality goes. The mesh here in the 808 I guess feels a little bit cheaper, but honestly it's not that big of a difference, you know, on foot. They both feel thin, they both feel supportive, they both conform to your foot very well, so not that big of a difference, right? But I would actually say the 808 has more ventilation holes, so it probably has better ventilation. And then of course we have the addition of the midfoot strap, which doesn't really, I mean, I don't like one-way straps, first of all, and second, I don't like straps in general because it's really annoying to lace up the shoe, right? So you have to undo the strap, right? And then when you want to lace it up, it does that. So it's like, okay, yeah, I have to keep this freaking down and then like try to lace it up, which is annoying, and then lace it up, and then the Velcro kind of screws up the laces a little bit as well, and then you strap down the strap, and then that doesn't even add that much support in my personal opinion. So yeah, so it's, I guess it's rather thin and stuff like that. I don't really like how it looks either, but they added that here in the V2s. The tongue is also identical. It's a very minimal feeling tongue. It's also kind of like a, not a half booty construction, it's more like a third booty, because the material kind of comes down into the forefoot. Usually it comes down right here, but you know, it's still kind of like better than just an independent tongue. And then here in the ankle area, we have the same amount of padding as well, with like pull tab here. So yeah, as far as the material quality goes, I would say it's a little bit better, but on foot it feels the same, and there is a strap. Now moving on to the fit. It fits exactly the same as the 808-2 as well. So they did send me up like a half size up, and it does run a little bit long, so I feel like if I went true to size, it would have been good for length. And also width wise, it's slightly narrow, and then here in the toe box it is a snug fit, but like my foot is held in place because of the drop-in midsole, and like this texture that the foam has, just kind of like grabs my foot, grabs my sock, and gives me very, very good lockdown. So yeah, the fit for me is pretty damn good. And as far as the support and lockdown goes, I mean, it's probably gonna be just as good as the regular 808-2. So like I mentioned before, from the drop-in you have a sidewall, right? And of course, we also have a plastic thing, right? Like this plastic coming up, acting as the sidewall, and we have some fuse. So that'll be good for lateral containment here in the forefoot, here in the midfoot, and also here in the heel. There is an internal TPO heel count, as well as like this plastic piece. This plastic thing doesn't really do anything. I feel like they should have extended it a little bit more onto the side. I don't know, actually, what does this do as far as functionality goes, right? But anyways, lateral containment seems like it's gonna be good. And also lateral stability, look at that. Super sharp outrigger, same exact shape as the regular 808-2. Super wide base, you're low to the ground here in the forefoot, so lateral stability feels like it's gonna be good as well. And now moving on to the weight of the shoe, it'll probably be a little heavy, right? Like 13, 14 ounces? Oh no, 12.63 ounces. I don't know why it feels heavy. It's probably because the heel is like chunky and there's a lot of rubber, right? Let's check the other shoe. 13.12. Wait, what? 13.12 ounces, and then the other shoe is 12.6? That's like a 0.5 ounce difference. That's a good amount of weight difference. What the? Let's check the regular 808-2. It's 13.3 ounces. Oh, the regular 808-2 is heavier. How? I am confusion. What? That's weird. It's not by that much, honestly, but it is heavier. Yeah, 13.3 ounces as well for this one. So yeah, it's not a super lightweight shoe, but it's also not like super heavy. It just feels a little like chonky here in the heel, a little clunky, but that's it. And obviously it's a very responsive shoe because it has great responsiveness and cushion, amazing traction and all that, and great support, great lockdown and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it feels exactly the same as the regular 808-2. As far as the aesthetics go, it definitely does not look as good as the regular 808-2. I love this colorway. The white and gold colorway that I have is super duper clean. I love this. And also the grape colorway is pretty clean as well. But the addition of the strap, I don't know. It doesn't look as good, right? Maybe a different colorway. Like there was another colorway that was coming out. It's like a black and gold colorway of the V2, which looked great, but I still don't think it looks as good as a regular 808-2. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, I'm probably not gonna do a performance review. I mean, I'm gonna test these out, right? And if there is a difference between the V2 and the 808-2, then of course I'll do an update and do like a performance review of the V2. But if there's no difference, then I'm probably not gonna do it because it's basically the same exact shoe. And traction is the exact same. Heel to toe transition, very exact same. Cushion, pretty much exactly the same. Upper is pretty much exactly the same, not that big of a difference. So yeah, I mean, if you want to get the V2, definitely get the V2, but I definitely feel like a lot more people would get the regular 808-2 because it looks better in my personal opinion, right? And the addition of the midfoot strap, like I said, doesn't really do a whole lot. So anyways, that about concludes my first impressions. Look on the 808-2 V2. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.